I know that a lot of people come through here lying about what they do, and I am not here to lie about what I do. I'm here to figure out what happened to my children, because they are the best thing that ever happened to me. And I'm not the best thing to ever happen to them.
Oh, that's big. And we can get you more water. So don't worry about it. We got plenty.
Okay. I think I can afford a lawyer. I just need to be able to make a phone call.
Okay, so the affordability of a lawyer is one thing. Okay. What this is simply put, is that you have every right in the world to have a lawyer with you right now.
Mm-hmm.
And you have every right in the world to talk to me. You also have every right in the world not to talk to me. Okay, so what this is saying is, if you sign that, you agree that we'll have a conversation about what's going on today without the presence of a lawyer, and you can invoke that at any time you want. Okay. So, like, let's say we get 2 minutes into a talk, and you decide, you know what, I do want a lawyer after all, we can back off, and that's it, it's over. Okay, or you can choose not to sign it, and we'll proceed with the next step, which I'll have to make a phone call for that. So it is.
In your honest opinion,
up to you.
what is the biggest likelihood that I'm going to be able to get my kids back?
I can't give any kind of opinion. Okay, and I'm kind of in a position right now where I can't really talk about the case itself without knowing the answer to that question.
Okay.
So if you choose
to figure out if my kids are okay.
Okay, so all right, but take the time to look it over, okay, and then look it over, read it, and if you do agree at the end of reading it, then we'll sign it and move forward.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll sign it. And then you said I can use. You can
ask a lawyer anytime you want.
Okay,
included right now, okay? So anytime you want, you decide I'm not comfortable anymore and you want a lawyer, you can do that, okay?
Okay.
So right there,
really lift my arm up.
No, you're okay. Just do the best you can. Want me to hold that for you so it's not sliding around? Sure. Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, so like I said, you can vote this anytime you want, all right? Like the deputy told you, I'm Detective Orozco. You could just call me Ratty. That's fine. Okay. So my job is to figure out what happened today, and you are someone that can give me information that I obviously wasn't there for.
Yes.
So I'm playing a little bit of catch up. So
I want to know just as much what happened today. We were all super sick last night, and the last thing that we ate was some chocolate cake that I got for my daughter for her birthday party. She had a birthday party at Penny Park from 1 to 4. We left a little bit early because it was getting really cold.
Mm-hmm.
And we'd got, before the party, we'd got chocolate cake with white frosting, like rainbow frosting from Albertsons. And that's all that it had on it. And then we got some candles to put on the cake, 5 candles to put on the cake. And I still have those candles in my purse, I'm assuming. I do smoke weed and speed, but I had not imbibed any speed.
Okay, so just to be clear with speed.
Methamphetamine.
Thank you. I appreciate
that. I do not use them regularly. It was just kind of like I wasn't feeling good. It doesn't matter. That's all just excuses. But anyways, I had not used any past like noon 30 at the very latest was the last time that I yesterday.
Okay.
Yes. Right before heading out to her party.
Okay.
And there was nothing that she could get in the room. The room is extremely messy, and that is true. And we're working on it. We don't have a vehicle right now to even take it to the dump. So it's really
It's hard.
It is hard.
Crazy hard.
And we had a friend that was letting us use their truck to do dump runs and stuff.
Okay, I'm sorry.
To do dump runs and stuff.
Okay.
And yeah, I've done, not recently, but like recently I've just done weed and speed. And I've done a lot of drugs throughout my life, though. My name is music. My parents named me music, you know. That's the life I grew up in. But I've never felt like I did last night. It was unreal. Like, I couldn't hold myself up. My daughter and my son couldn't hold themselves up. I had no idea what was going on. I just wanted us to get some sleep, and I thought that would help. And I don't know what it was, but that's why I really, really, really want to see the blood work and stuff, because that was not like anything I've ever experienced.
It's extremely weird, right?
Yes.
So it's like that, stuff like that doesn't really happen.
Well, it happened last night, and I don't know how it happened, and I don't know if I don't have any idea what happened, but I want to know what was in my system, and I want to know how it got to my kids' system, because they did not get in. I'm telling you. And an investigation will have to be done, and that is fine with me. But I know that I do not do fentanyl or heroin. I know that. And so if that's in my system, and if that's in my little girl's system, somebody fucking put it there. Sorry, excuse my language, but I do not do it. You can speak
however you want. You're going through some shit right now. Straight up.
No, I want to speak eloquently because I don't want to
be misconstrued.
I don't want to be misconstrued. I know that a lot of people come through here lying about what they do, and I am not here to lie about what I do. I'm here to figure out what happened to my children, because they are the best thing that ever happened to me. And I'm not the best thing to ever happen to them.
Oh, that's big. That's a really big thing to say.
But I just want to know they're okay.
So
I want the opportunity to become the best thing for them, and to show them how much I care about them. This is what I was trying to do yesterday, and when we got to the party, there was some other bigger birthday party going on, and it's just really hard. It's hard not having a car and living all the way out there. And just trying to desperately get my kids to school on time every day, man.
You're up against it. Absolutely. But thank you. I appreciate that so much. By you telling me that tells me that you and I are on the same page. I talked to Thaddeus a while ago. Like I told Thaddeus, I'm not the kind of cop that I'm here to catch people up. That's not what I'm about. With what's going on today, my goal is to find out what happened so I can do right by your kids.
Mm-hmm.
That is my only role. That's the only thing I'm after. And it seems like you're really on that page too, which is super helpful, because believe it or not, there are a lot of parents that come through here and otherwise that will do everything to sell their kids out so they get away or whatnot. But that's not what this is, okay?
No.
That is not what this is. This is a matter of us having a conversation, trying to figure out what happened. Okay, so you guys had a party at Penny Park from 1 to 4 yesterday.
Yes, and it wasn't a party with alcohol or anything. It was just my little girl's birthday party. That's all it was. We had cake. We didn't have ice cream because it melted. But we had cake, and we had some chips, Doritos, and Ruffles. And her best friend Henry came, and his grandma Irene Brewer. And my mom was there, and my Aunt Melissa was there, and her husband Zach.
This sounds like everything a kid would want.
Yeah.
They don't care about all the tattoo stuff anyway. They just want to have a good time.
Yeah.
So that happens. You guys have some cake. And then later on, it starts getting cold.
It starts getting
go
cold,
home.
so we headed home. And then Zachy wanted to know if she could have one more slice of cake. And I said sure, and we all had a slice of cake before bed. And that's when things just started to get weird. I don't know if it was like, I've never had a sugar high like that. Like, I don't know what happened. I don't think it was the cake or anything. I don't know what it was.
What about the heater for the house?
The heater, we don't have the propane hooked in. We're out of propane.
And the coals? Like the place where you have the coals or whatever you were burning in there?
Yeah, it was coals. They were coals. But we burn them all the way to coals so they don't smoke the place out, and then we vent the window. Normally we have a propane heater. And when we have the propane hooked up to the heater that's up against the wall, we still leave it vented because the kids were, a while back, like when we first moved in, this was over a year ago, my son was waking up, throwing up, and we discovered it's because we had all the windows shut with the propane heater on, so it wasn't ventilating properly, so we started leaving the windows just cracked, and that was enough, and all the throwing up stopped. So that was good.
Yeah, that was my initial thought with everyone in the house. Like you guys, from what we were told at the time, like people just aren't feeling good, and having that type of heater inside the house, or even burning the coals inside, you get a little carbon monoxide, a certain percent. I'm not a doctor, some percent you're going to start feeling sick and whatnot, and after that things get a little bit more serious.
Yeah.
Right, progressively more serious until that's solved.
There should have been at least 2 windows cracked in the house.
Okay.
I don't know if they recorded that or not, but there should have been at least 2 windows cracked in the house. And I'm trying to think.
Did you or anyone else in the house have any kind of medical problems? Any kind of sicknesses, stuff going on?
I thought that I was just having a bad allergy attack because I had helped my husband behind Walgreens. Rob Rydesky, he's a landscape developer, and he's having my husband cut a whole bunch of the trees back behind Walgreens and the U-Haul and the Sonic, because he's trying to help us out. He knows that we do wood cutting, and so when my husband does have the friend's truck, he was going back there and we were getting wood. And I do know that I grew up coming here on spring breaks and alternating weekends and stuff because my mom lived here when I lived with my grandma though because she was my legal guardian. But she made sure that I was a part of my sister's and my mom's life. And I had really, really bad asthma when I was a kid, like nebulizer, full out, grasshopper mask. But it subsided a lot when I started competitive swimming, and every now and again I'll have a really bad allergy attack. Like my sinuses hurt so bad right here, and I think that that's kind of what's giving me this super vertigo. I'm not sure if it's the labyrinth, it's like...
For sure, it messes with the fluid in your ears, you get dizzy, you can't breathe, that causes problems, sure.
Yeah, and so I don't know if it was allergies after all, or if maybe we picked up something, because you could tell there was quite an extensive homeless camp back there. I don't know how long ago it's been since anybody's been back there.
Where?
Behind the Sheriff's Posse Road.
Yeah, back behind the buildings, or like down in the ditch by Sonic?
Not in the ditch so much, but back behind the buildings. He's gonna do, I think he's wanting to put another RV court or something like that.
Okay.
So he's plowing it all down. And he told my husband, if you want to come get the trees, they're green, but if you season them over the summer, then...
Right, you're good to go.
Yeah. And so I assumed it was just like the pollen and stuff getting kicked up from the alder or whatever, and that I was just having a really bad allergy attack because I was sneezing a whole lot and I was having a really hard time breathing. But the snot was clear, so I assumed it was allergies. And nobody else was affected by it, really. And then my husband started complaining about feeling a little bit sick, but he too thought it was just allergies because the snot was clear, like there wasn't green mucus, and it wasn't thick, it was like just dripping, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, but then I started towards the end of the party, I started to get really bad pain right here, just all right here, and I still have a lot of pain right there. And I don't know if it's the walls in this room, but like I'm not hearing very well, but it's probably the wall.
A lot of it's the wall, and like your eyes might kind of start tripping out too, because like the pattern is like, I know like every once in a while I'll look down at the table to kind of re-gauge, so just heads up.
So, and just like
and
mass
the kids.
confusion.
What about the kids?
The kids were fine. The kids were fine all the way up until I woke up in the middle of the night because Zaki was crying and Zai was crying, and they appeared to be asleep, like they were having night terrors, but like severe night terrors. But they were fine when they laid down to snuggle with me. After we had the cake, everybody was fine. My son put on some YouTube, and everything seemed fine, and I crashed out. And then I woke up to my kids, they were crying. And Zaki was kind
about
of
what time was that, do you know?
I don't have any idea, but my husband might know. My husband might know because he came out of the fifth wheel over to the tiny home to see what was going on, to see why everybody was crying, and to lay down with us. And he said he was feeling really crappy, and he was trying to get my son to calm down, and I had Zaki trying to calm her down, or like maybe wake her up so that she was not, I wasn't like, I was just being gentle, like rubbing her forehead and stuff, like just trying to get her to wake up, or because she was crying, she was alive, she was crying, and we just couldn't figure out what it was that was making them cry. And my son was curled up in a little ball, and we had no idea what was going on, but eventually they quieted down, and there was just like a little whimper every now and again, but they were okay, they were breathing, they were responsive somewhat, like there were vital signs, and in hindsight, I should have called right then. I should have called somebody right then when all of that was going on. But I came from a household like my grandma is tough, man. She broke her wrist in like 9 places, and she was just like, that's just a hematoma. And her wrist was like, no, it was not a hematoma.
I had a similar upbringing.
And so I just thought it was night terrors. I just thought it was night terrors, and I knew that we were all feeling bad, and I should have gone off of that, but I just didn't. It's not an excuse. It's not an excuse. But I didn't come from that kind of background where you call the EMS every time somebody's freaking out. It's just not the way we did it. And
so you went to sleep with the kids in the tiny house. Everything was okay at first, and then they started crying. So you're trying to soothe them. You're doing the mom thing. Your husband hears what's going on, so he comes from the white RV into the tiny home. Mm-hmm. And joins you guys in bed, or what happens now?
Yeah, he laid down next to my son.
Okay.
To try and calm Zai down, because I had both of them, and so he knew that I wasn't feeling well, and so we were both just trying to calm the kids down. We were trying to figure out why they were crying. Like, are you hurt? We kept asking them, are you hurt? Do you have a bellyache? Can you breathe? And they just were like, it was like they were having night terrors. Like, they weren't responding to any. Like if you asked them a question, there was no yes or no, there was just crying, but they were both crying, like they were both alive and crying, which doesn't make it okay that I didn't call the EMS, like that makes it worse, I guess, but like, and this went on for like, I want to say this went on for, I don't know, maybe 10 minutes, and then my son calms down first, and just started breathing a little bit heavily, and then just calmed down. And then my daughter would whimper every now and again, and like shiver kind of. And I just pulled her in close to me to like try and warm her up. But I mean, my kids and I snuggle every night, like my kids and I snuggle every night. Like, I'm familiar with how to snuggle with my kids. I just don't see, But maybe because I was sick, I rolled over on top of her or something like that. I don't know.
Did you ever wake up on top of her?
No, I never. That's never happened.
Okay, including last night, right?
Including last night.
Okay.
Last night, when I woke up, she was in between me and my husband. She was in between us. Like, you could see her face, you could see her whole body, you know? And it was tripping me out, and I kept trying to sit up, but I couldn't. I could not sit up, like, for the same reason I can't. I don't know if you can see this hand right now, but it's super swollen, and I don't have any idea what's going on with it, but it is in a lot of pain. But I was trying so hard to sit up. I even told my husband, I was like, push me up. I need to check on Xaqueline, like, something's not right. And I just couldn't sit up, and I saw her right there, and I just couldn't sit up. I couldn't even sit up to get to the phone, like.
What made you know that something was wrong? Was it something different than the shivering, whimpering, or was there something else?
She was just very still.
Okay.
Is she okay?
Okay, so then after that, hold on. I want to stay on the same track because sometimes it's hard to lose that streamline, right? So that happened then.
But I was not on top of her. Like,
okay.
when I woke up, she was in between us, like she frequently is. She just was. It just was different. I just felt like it was different. It was just different.
Something wasn't right.
Yeah.
Okay. So then that leads into, so what happens after that?
I just kept trying to sit up. I started screaming for help because I couldn't get up. I could not get up. I could not sit up. Even when the cops came in, they were telling me, get up, and I was like, I'm trying to get up. Like, believe me, I want to get up right now. Like, I couldn't get up. This side of me, it was like something was stabbing me down or something.
Did Thaddeus ever come to help you?
Thaddeus did eventually come to the door, and he was like, is everything all right? And I was like, I don't know. Zaki's acting funny, and I can't sit up right now, and I'm not feeling good. I don't know what's going on right now. And so, presumably, that's when he called. Okay.
And then that's where we got involved. Okay. All right. So, thank you. I know that's kind of a lot to go through. Okay. Zai, right? Is that your son's name?
Mm-hmm.
Zai. I checked on him at the hospital when I saw you. So from what they're thinking, at that time, things could have changed. He looks like he has a touch of pneumonia.
Okay.
Okay, but I mean, otherwise, he seemed pretty okay. They're treating him. They're going to do what doctors do.
Yeah. Right,
and check him for all sorts of stuff. Zaki, she didn't survive. Sorry.
What did they say happened?
We don't know. We have no idea.
Are they going to do a toxicology on her?
We are going the full 9 yards to figure out what it was that happened.
Please do.
So that's why I wanted to talk to you and Daddy to figure out, because this stuff doesn't really happen, right?
No.
So I'm so sorry to be the one to have to tell you that. You shouldn't have to hear this from someone that you don't even know. But
she had a good...
But we are going to look into it as deeply as we possibly can to try to get a better answer for what happened. As of right now, I can't give you any answers because I don't have them. But we're working on figuring it out.
Can I please see my son? Please?
So, your son, the deputy that took him to the hospital turned him over to CYFD because we had the death of a child.
Yes, how come they didn't turn him over to his grandparents?
Because that was the decision that he made at that time. It was to give him the CYFD, and then they can do their safety plan and that kind of stuff. I did have a conversation with the worker who did mention grandma. I would assume that's your mom?
Yes.
Okay, so about reaching out to Grandma to see if placement with her is going to be appropriate, and after solving what it is that he's got going on. If it's pneumonia or what have you. Because if he has to be hospitalized, well, then obviously he's going to be there for a while.
Yeah.
Right, so that's what's going to happen with him.
Yeah.
Parent to parent, I hate that I'm going to ask you this question, but I have to ask out of respect to your daughter.
Yes.
Did you know she was dead?
I didn't know. I wasn't sure, but I did feel like something wasn't right. And so that's when I started calling out. I was just calling out for help. I did not know. I just knew something wasn't right.
Because, I mean, sometimes things happen, right? But that's why we got to look at everything. We got to look at this whole picture.
Please look at everything. Please look at everything, because please look at everything.
100%. It's like I said, I'm not the kind of cop I'm here to catch anybody up. That's not what this is. Okay? What this is a matter of trying to figure out what happened. Because right now it's a mystery. Nobody knows. No one knows what happened. I did try to talk to your husband. He refused to make a statement to me. So I couldn't speak to him about it to get more information.
Does he know?
Yeah, he knows. I told him. I was under the impression that he knew when I talked to him. He wasn't aware. Apparently he wasn't aware, so that's one of the reasons why I wanted to bring you here to have that conversation, because it's everyone over there, it's none of their business. And I didn't want you to have to endure that and have some nurse come in and check your blood pressure while you're going through something.
Okay.
But we are going to look at it at every angle we possibly can. Okay? So I have to look at it a lot of different ways. Obviously, I got to look at it in the role of a cop, right?
Yeah.
Gathering evidence, blah, 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 blah.
I just want to know what happened. I want to know what happened.
And then we'll have a team of medical professionals that are going to examine your daughter and do everything that they can possibly do to figure out what it was that happened to her that caused this to happen. And then once we know that, then we'll have an answer. But right now, we just don't know, and because of the nature of not knowing, we have to go through this in a very particular way.
Yeah.
So as the sheriff's office isn't just unique to you guys, but every death that we have, whether it's an old man dying in bed, car accidents, stuff like that, every death we have, we investigate it as a homicide until proven otherwise. Which is one of the reasons that you guys were placed in custody. We got something really, really serious going on, and we need to figure out what that is,
Absolutely.
right? So I will give you my word that I'm going to do my best to find out what happened to your daughter. My experience in investigations has taught me that there's a lot of times where there's little things that happen that didn't matter in the moment, but now when you can stand back and look at things, it kind of makes a little bit more sense or whatever. And nobody knows what happened there last night better than you do, right? To what you saw, what you felt, like in your soul felt, what you touched, felt, what you heard, like all those tangible things that there's no way that I would be able to experience. You have that knowledge. So now, knowing what you know, is there anything that stands out to you that you think I should be aware of as something of importance for consideration?
I just thought it was bizarre how sloppy we all were. It just was weird. It was weird. I just should have called. I should have called when she was crying and was asleep. I should have rolled out of that house. I would have. My daughter had pants on when she went to bed. She was wearing a onesie with stars on it. It was a onesie that didn't have one sleeve, but she had a sparkly shirt on.
Mm-hmm.
That's what she wore to her birthday party. That's what she went to sleep in.
She woke, well, when I saw her, she didn't have pants on at all.
I know.
Why is that?
I don't know. Sometimes
is that
when
something she's done before?
It is. When she pees herself, which she doesn't do all the time, but when she does get her pants wet in the middle of the night, she frequently will take her pants off, but she usually puts the fresh panties on, or she wakes me up and asks me to get her some pants. But I don't know that I would have been wakeable at that time, but I do know that she's been known to do that when she has syneresis, is that what it's called? When she pees the bed. But she doesn't pee the bed a whole lot. She's been getting a lot better because we've been making sure to make her use the body. Before bed. But last night we didn't do that. We just ate cake and
I have another hard question.
Yeah.
And again, I hate to ask, but I gotta ask it. Sometimes when kids cry at night, it's extremely difficult to deal with.
Yeah, but it's not. I just wanted to soothe them. Like, I did not. There was no shaking or any violence.
So I have to ask the question.
I understand that.
Did you do anything that would have caused her to die?
No. I did not. I snuggled with her and I was rubbing on her forehead like this to try and, because that helps soothe her sometimes. She saw it in Frozen, and the mom went like this to the daughter, and that's what I was doing because it helps to soothe her sometimes. She's never had night terrors like that, but sometimes when she's having a hard time going to sleep, that's what I do, and it helps her to get to sleep. But I just snuggled with her. I just held her, and not like tight, like how I usually snuggle with her, how I've snuggled with her the last 5 years of her life.
And how is it that you hold her?
Usually like on the side, and then she puts a pillow up above my arm, so that it's not like my arm in her neck, you know what I mean?
Your arm's not the pillow?
Yeah. Right. And last night, actually, when I first fell asleep, before all this had gone down, my daughter and Zai both came and they were on either side of me because they could tell I wasn't feeling good. So they came up and they were just like, "Feel better, Mommy," and was just snuggling. She was at my front and Zai was at my back, and they covered me up with a blanket. And then I just crashed out. And then I woke up and they were having night terrors. But they were both on either side of me, just trying to help me feel better.
Is there anything else you can think of? I really want to do right by your family. And I don't know, maybe it's something that's super easy for the doctors to find, but I'm no doctor, you know. So anything that I can use on my side, even to give to the doctors, is like, hey, consider this too.
I don't think so. I know that, I'm grateful that Thaddeus called. I know that he's got some kind of CYFD case going on with his sister right now. But I don't know that, we don't leave the kids alone with him. So, me or Matt are always there. We don't let him watch the kids. When his mom was there, we let Mitra watch the kids a couple of times, but she hasn't been there for weeks.
Are you aware of Thaddeus' situation?
I know a little bit about it. He told me a little bit about it. Just that it was his sister is accusing him of molesting her in the Walmart parking lot or something like that.
Thaddeus was convicted on that.
Okay.
Something for consideration with your family.
Yes, absolutely. And I did not know that because he said that he still had court and stuff like that, and that's one of the reasons, though court or no, that's one of the reasons my husband and I made the decision to never have the kids alone with him. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So even when, like, we were both and Matt actually, I guess when I went to sleep with the kids in the tiny home one day, Thaddeus came and was asleep in the bed with us. I didn't know that, but my husband told me he woke me up and he woke Thaddeus up and told Thaddeus that the only man that I sleep with is
good.
Which is good. Then I thought that was weird. I thought that was weird, but he wasn't next to any of the kids. He was next to me. I had the two kids were over here, and I was asleep like this, and he was behind me. I didn't feel like I'd been messed with or anything, but he's the one that brought all. It's just unreal. Like, he couldn't have had time to do anything to the cake or to do anything to the Capri Suns, but he did bring all the stuff up from the table at the party and put it in the back of the truck. And then I don't know if he unloaded the truck and brought the stuff inside. I don't know if it was him or Matt that brought the stuff inside. I brought the cake inside because I knew the kids were going to want some more. So I grabbed the cake and brought it in. But I don't know if he had contact with any of the other stuff that we had.
Right. Do you have any reason to believe that Thaddeus would hurt your kids?
I know that they've been kind of annoying him a little bit. They've been picking on him, kind of. Picking on him the way a 4-year-old, like, he'll want to play the Xbox. They don't want to get off the Xbox. It's our Xbox. But I kind of try to make them take turns with him. You know what I mean? But I think that he doesn't really like a lot of the YouTube stuff that they watch. And so he'll get bored watching that, and he's like, come on, let's play a game or something like that, and the kids will want to keep watching YouTube. That's what I mean by picking on. I mean, I don't know that that's really picking on him, but I don't let it go. Like, I don't let it go unrecognized, I guess. Like, I don't want Thaddeus to feel like the kids can just do it, and I don't want my kids to feel like they can just do whatever they want. You know, they need to take turns. That's an important part of
self-development.
Yeah. And so there's that, I guess. But other than, I had no idea that he was saying that he still had court for it.
Which he probably would. He had a little bit of trouble with compliance afterwards. So I'm sure there's some court-mandated stuff that he's still doing that's along with that. Any reason to believe that your husband could have hurt your kids?
No.
Was there anyone else around at all that could have had some kind of hand in harming your children?
No. My mom and my Aunt Melissa would never do something like that. And then Henry and Irene Brewer, that's his grandma. Like, Henry's a 4-year-old boy. He's a 5-year-old boy. You know, he wasn't there at the house. Like, we left him at the park. Well, we didn't leave him at the park, but we parted ways at the park, you know? So, I don't think that any of them would do anything like that. And my husband and I, he's been violent a little bit towards me, but never the kids. He's never, not even close. And it's always, a lot of times he's violent towards me because he doesn't feel like I'm doing right by the kids. So I'm not saying that's right or wrong or anything, but he would never hurt the kids. Even if they were being frustrating with the night terrors, like, he came in to help, and I don't believe that my husband would hurt the kids. I've seen him in rages, and he's never hurt the kids, in blind rages.
Okay.
So.
One of those things I have to ask, you know.
No, I feel you, and I know you're going to have to investigate, and I just feel like we should have left.
There's always something else that someone could have done. Always. Even if you had done something perfectly, you would look back at it and there was something else that you could have improved on. That's just the way it is. But this is where you're at now. What's really important is how you choose to move forward.
Does I know his sister's dead?
I don't know that for sure. I believe CYFD may have told him that, but I couldn't tell you definitively yes or no. I would assume before long he'll know, because he's going to wonder where you guys are at and what's happening type of situation. But he was sleeping when I saw him.
How does this go from here?
So what's going to happen right now is that, like I said, how I told you we treat everything like a homicide.
Yeah.
So what's happening right now is I'm working on the search warrant for your property. Considering that we had a death there, we're going to look at everything that we possibly can to see if we can find a root source of this is our smoking gun, right? So this is what caused that, or this could have helped this issue develop and blah, blah, blah. So we're going to look at that kind of stuff. So I got to investigate it kind of criminally on that side until we know otherwise that it's not, which at the same time, we're going to have medical professionals do their thing and try to solve it on a medical standpoint, of regardless of circumstances and whatever, what does the science tell us, right? And then we're going to have to come together with that and see where that puts us. As far as you and your husband are concerned right now, I need to make a phone call, and I'll make a phone call and we'll see about getting you guys going, but you won't be able to go back home probably until tomorrow will be my guess. Okay. Excuse me.
I understand.
Well,
because you don't want us to take the...
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and
no,
that's,
I feel you.
It's going to be the people who decide, that can be there at your house. It's going to be me and the detective that's there. So even if we get some other officer that shows up that wants to look around, if they don't have business there, they're not going there. Nothing comes in and nothing comes out without our say-so. Yes. Okay. CYFD, I have no idea where they're at with this, but I'll sooner or later end up plugging in with them to kind of see what's going on their side of things. And we'll communicate about what's best moving forward, reunification plans and stuff like that.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have any other questions for me?
Just if they could be placed with their grandparents, either in... So they have grandparents in Florida, which I know is a ways away, and they have grandparents here, and they have grandparents in El Paso. And just, I don't want to see them in the system because I know people that were broken in the system and had terrible experiences in the system, and I know that you can try to do all you want, but they were with me when this happened, so it's really hard for me to trust the system. But I can trust my grandma, my mom, and I can trust these people, and I know that they will do right by my children.
Well, I can't speak to their process. They have the legal right to make whatever decision that they need to make. So I'm kind of not involved in that one. They'll kind of tell me, hey, this is what we did after all because of X, Y, Z or whatever. But I will be in communication with them we all try to work together to try to solve the problem. So we all kind of look at it in a different way. They look at the social side of it, the doctors do the medical side of it, I do criminal side of it. And then we come together and find where's that middle ground, and that's the most appropriate thing to do. And then that's what we do. But I'm sure you probably don't want to be here anymore.
I don't want to be in jail either.
Well,
but I just want to be Look, I just wanted to be last night again. I just wanted to be last night again. And I want to be holding my baby girl. And I want to be holding my boy.
So let's do this. I gotta make a phone call to the decision's way over my head.
Yes, I understand.
So I gotta make a phone call about that, and then but either way tonight, I mean your house and your property is not gonna probably get released back to you until tomorrow.
That's fine.
More likely than not, okay? Because I still got to finish writing the search warrant, send it to the judge, all that nonsense, and then go and do it.
I just want this done right. I want to know what happened.
Okay. All right. So let's get out of this little room. We can get you some more water. Okay. We'll get you with the deputy, but unfortunately I will have to have them place the postback on you until I can get the green light to change that. Okay.